all I did was I just put in these titles right here in this row, total for January, total for February, total for March, total for April, total for May, and I put in these titles here, tax for the month, total including tax. Okay, just those are boring things to do. I didn't want to waste time on the recording just doing that. Okay, but that's all in the instructions here, how to do that, where to do it. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out, we're going to use a formula to figure out the sums of each of these months, okay? So in other words, we're going to add up all of the values for January, all the values for February, all the values for March, okay? Now, right here in F15, just going to check, yes, in F15, I'm going to write a formula to add up all the total for here in January. Now, of course, don't forget, all of my formulas have to begin with an equal sign. An equal sign, okay? So I could just add up all of these cells. I could do equals equals B6 equals B6 plus, B6. It's all right. Have my caps on. So B6 plus B7 plus B8, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I could add up all those cells. Boring, long, takes a long time, waste of time. Okay, so we're going to use a very handy dandy formula that will add up cells. Okay, that formula is the sum formula. Okay, so once again, all formulas have to begin with equals, and I type in sum, and then I put in a parenthesis, okay? Now, if I just now drag and click all of the cells that I want to add up, okay? Excel will do the following. It will put in this little thing, colon, B14. This in Excel speak says, all right, I want to add up, I want to sum up everything that is in B6, that's colon stands for everything from B6 to B14. And you can see here it highlights it for me. Okay, so I'm going to close the parenthesis, I'm going to hit equals, and there we go. Okay, I've got the sum. Okay, now last year I believe you guys learned how to autofill. Okay, so when we autofill, we can put our little cursor right here to the bottom right-hand corner of the cell, and I can drag and drop all the way down. But this is telling me, this little section here tells me that there's an error, okay? Watch what's happening. I can see the error here, okay? So if I show you this, okay? Yes, the drag and drop option, the autofill option does not work for this because I want to move on laterally. I want to move from, instead of going down, I want to move across, okay? It'll be more evident what I'm talking about when we do some other things. So we'll go back here. Okay, I want to do the sum for February. I'm just going to select all of those, close parenthesis. Okay, same for May. Okay, sorry, for March. Okay, close parenthesis. And same for April. Okay. Sorry, once I close parenthesis, then I hit the enter, and it'll take me to my next cell. Okay, so let's just take quick. And I'm going to do the last one here for May. Okay, same for May. Close parenthesis, and then I hit enter. And there we go. So I've got all of my totals for January, February, March, April, May. So what I've done is I put in a formula in each one of these cells down here to add up each one of my columns of January, February, March, April, May, okay? Next thing I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to, I've already done this, I've put in these titles of tax for the month, okay? All right, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to figure out the tax, okay? I'm going to pretend that I have to pay a tax of 4% on all of my totals, okay? So yeah, just imagine that every month I have to pay income tax. Let's say it's an income tax of 4%. So I have to multiply that 4% times my total, okay? So pretty simple. Once again, if I have a formula, I want to do equals, okay? And I want to multiply this cell here, F15, my total for January, times, the times is the little star sign, times the cell here, which is my tax, okay? All right, so effectively what I've done, okay, so the total tax I have to pay for January is $37.60. Okay, so I'll just go back up here to that formula. So yeah, this is multiplying my total for January times this 4%. Okay, now this time, let's try the autofill and see what happens again. Okay, so if I drag and drop this, okay, zeros all the way down except for the first one. Well, of course, that's not true because this number, a positive number times a positive number, is not going to get me a 0. But let's see what happens, okay? Can you see here, okay, there's nothing in this cell, okay? So a number times nothing is, of course, 0. So Excel is doing the right thing. But I want to be able to drag and drop, autofill all the way down. Okay, so let me explain. This was a little something that you guys probably learned last year, which is known as an absolute reference, okay? When I create an absolute reference, I don't want this cell to move. I want this cell to be referenced absolutely all of the time, no matter if I drag and drop or if I move it over here or move it down here, okay? In order to create an absolute reference then, okay, what I do is I put a $sign in front of the letter and a $sign after the letter. Okay, so in other words, I sandwich my column letter with two $signs. So effectively what I've done is now I've created an absolute reference. So when I autofill, when I try to go down and autofill the rest of this column, this absolute reference that I've created here with the $signs will always go back to this cell, and I won't get any errors, okay? So I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to put my cursor back here on the bottom right hand, and I'm going to just drag and drop all the way down to autofill, and there we go. Okay, so yeah, that worked. I've now got a proper tax for each month. Okay, I'm just going to save that in my... Okay, the next thing I want to do is now I want to add, okay, I want to add my total for January, and I want to add the tax I'm going to pay so that I get the total including tax. Very, very simple. Okay, once again, all my formulas begin with equals, and I simply want to add whatever's in F15, add F15 to G15. Okay, if I hit enter, there we go. So that's my total. All I did was I added this cell G15 to this cell F15. And you can see that up here. Here equals F15 plus G15. Okay, and I'm going to autofill that. Okay, so yeah, just put your cursor in the bottom right-hand corner so that it's that solid black cross. Okay, and now I've got all my totals, including my tax. Okay, now notice, okay, I didn't have to format any of these for currency. Okay, it automatically did it for me. That's because early on, I already formatted all of these fields to have a currency value. So whatever I do now down in here, if I do formulas and I access these cells, it will automatically output them in the currency format that I have already selected, which is American dollars. Okay? All right, what are we going to do? Next thing we're going to do is create a chart. Okay, I'm going to do that in the next lesson because that's going to take a bit of time, and I think that's the chart will be the last thing that you'll be doing for this course, or sorry, for this this class. Okay, and I will see you guys soon.